Hello. Hello. Is this working? Is this microphone on? How wow. Okay, cool. It's recording. Sweet. Hello, everybody. My name is Jord Wild, and welcome to Draw My Life. That is a very flattering picture of me, I must say. But yes, this is my version of Draw My Life. And yeah, here we go. Whoop-de-doo. So, me being English, I was obviously born in London because that is where every Englishman is born, ever. Nah, that's not true. But it's true for me. I was born in London, and that is a very nice flag. Hey, look at me. But yes, I was born in London. Good old city, that London. I love it. I was born on the 3rd of May, 1991. Or if you're American, I was born on the 5th of May, 3rd of 90, whatever. You Americans are weird. So yes, apparently, according to my mother, I was 2 weeks late, which is insane for my mother. You know, because obviously I'm a big baby, and I would have hurt coming out of her. But the fact that she put up with me for 2 weeks is amazing. So nice one, Mum. Oh yeah, by the way, when they were trying to find my heart rate, apparently I died or they lost my heartbeat or something. So. Oh, that's a good start. So yes, we lived in London for 8 years. Our house wasn't the biggest house in the world, but it had the nicest garden. Our garden was amazing, and I do miss that house very much. I wonder if I'll ever get to see it again. Who knows? Oh, by the way, I should mention that my family is horrifically my family is very religious. Religious being Christian. And my mother over the years has tried to make me see the light of God, but as you can tell by what the hell is that? But as you can tell, yeah, that didn't go to plan. So, for all the foreigners out there, you've heard of the London Underground, haven't you? You know, the trains are underground. But, okay, so there's a saying that says, mind the gap. It is literally the gap between the train and the station. You'd think they'd sort this one out, but apparently not. But yes, when I was a child, I actually fell between that gap and nearly got killed. Whoop-woohoo! Unfortunately, as time went on, my family was split in two by divorce. Luckily, I wasn't old enough to understand it at the time, but yes, it wasn't working out, so they got divorced. But it was not all sheds and tears, because my dad moved to Bournemouth, he found a very beautiful wife, and they had 2 children, Hannah and Katie. I see them every now and then when I go visit them, and I love them very much. So, giving all of that happened, it was just me and my mother for a while, and it was in the early 90s. It was very difficult. I remember living in this really small, crappy flat, and my mum had job after job after job, and it just wasn't working, and oh dear, we were struggling. But eventually that all paid off, and my mum found Richard, who, by the way, is Scottish, because that is a kilt, not a dress. And they had a son called Jotham, who ruined my life forever. Nah, I'm joking. I love them all. So we packed up our stuff and we decided to move away from... Well, I didn't decide. My parents decided. We all decided to move to the Forest of Dean, which is a very beautiful place for tourists and stuff like that. And it is here where I met my best friends at the time, Bob and James. Best buddies. We used to build dens in the woods and we used to be a band together. Oh, by the way, James is now married and has children. God, I feel old. So, yes, primary school. Good old primary school. The old Church of England primary school. This is the place where I decided to, in my final year, year 6 or 6th grade, I decided to break into the boiler room and play with the nozzles equaling in the boiler being broken, and we had no heating. Nice. And then was secondary school. Now, I'll tell you, secondary school, I did not get on with it at all. I just could not understand why 5 plus 5 equaled banana, the life of Pi, even though that's a film, shut up, and science, and it was just not for me. This is also the time when I started smoking, and I also started drinking. I actually got drunk for the first time when I was 14 years old, kids. So, yeah, don't do that. But yes, and also it's where I started doing bands. I fell in love with live performing music, and that made no sense. And I was either the drummer. I've done every I've done every instrument in the band when it comes to singing, vocals, bass, and drums, and I love it. Oh, by the way, this one time I was in a competition, and I actually performed in front of 500 people, which at the time for me was, oh crap. And so, when school was going on, near the end of school, everything just started to get out of control. I couldn't keep a hold of everything. The smoking and the drugs and the drinking was getting a bit ridiculous. It was equaling me getting kicked out of classes, especially the music class. I got kicked out of music, which is hilarious. And as you can see there, I'm not a very happy boy. And also, I ended up doing a protest in my secondary school, which equaled me in getting expelled. Oh dear. But then, college came along. I don't know how I got into college. My grades must have been good enough. It was pretty good, but this was also the time when I had my drug overdose, and I ended up dying for 10 minutes. I was brought back to life and obviously was rushed to hospital, and I had to have meetings with mental institutes to see if I was actually crazy, and it ended up being all over newspapers and all over the news on telly, and oh dear, and the death threats I was getting from all these drug people, and oh my god, it was a terrible time of life. I'm so glad it's over now. University! That was great, wasn't it? That lasted well, because guess what? Oh, you guessed it. Oh, I failed that as well. Yes, me failing university meant that I had nowhere to go. I literally had no home, I had no food, I had no education, I had literally nothing to my name. I had to end up moving back in with my parents, and life just wasn't going well for me at all. It wasn't until I started watching YouTube videos like properly that I started noticing specific gaming channels. And there was one channel that I came across where this guy with the funny voice from Indiana, and his name was Mike Kukuri, and that is a very flattering picture of Mike, I'm so sorry. And he talked me into creating Mr. Jord Wild that we know and love today. Yay! Thank you, Mike. So, and also, by the way, I actually love what I do. I love making videos for you guys. I love doing it. It's become a very close thing for me, and I love doing it. I am all over the place today. I apologise. But yes, I love doing what I do, and it has been amazing. And to be honest, it has been a very crazy 21 years. 21 years of just absolute madness. And you know what? I've never been happier, as you can say by that very fat-looking face. I've never been happier at all. I am happy. I am happy. Why has that M got two M's in one M? That M's got two M's in one M. So that's been Draw My Life so far. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up or whatever you do on YouTube. I have no idea. Yay! By the way, just to let you all know, the pictures and the paper that I've used to make this Draw My Life will be recycled, because I did use a lot of paper. So recycle, everybody. Make sure the world is a better place. La la la. So thank you for watching Draw My Life, Mr. Jord Wild. I'm sorry it was rubbish, but I've been Jord Wild, and it's been lovely seeing you. Right, now I've got to turn the mic off. God dang it. Ugh. Mr. Jord.